Okay, come pay attention. This is going to be useful for your test. So it cuts the x-axis at A and B and then the y-axis at C. Find the coordinates of A, B and C. Coordinates. So I need an x and a y coordinate. Which one do you want to find first? A, B or C? Choose, come on, quickly. C, okay, let's find C first. To find C, this is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is given by... So to find C, what is the known value of x or y? If you want to find C, x equals to 0, yeah. X equals to 0. So I substitute it into my equation. Y equals to -2 times 0 square plus 0 plus 15. And I get 15. So C will be 0, 15. Do you have that? If you have it, give yourself a tick. Then next, to find A and B. What is the approach? To find A and B. Okay, so this tells us that what? Y equals to 0. Yeah, because this line over here, the x-axis, is given by y equals to 0. That is the equation of the x-axis. Alright? So when y is equals to 0, I have -2x squared plus x plus 15 equals to 0. Next step. What is the next step? Solve. Yeah. How do I solve? Which method do you want to use? Factorization or formula? Formula, okay. Go ahead and use the formula. X equals to -1 plus minus square root square minus 4 times -2 times 15 over 2 times -2. Okay, what are the two answers for x? 3 and -2 over 5. 2.5, 5 over 2 lah. Okay, 5 over 2. Okay, so from here, one of it is supposed to be the x coordinate for A, one is the x coordinate for B. Which one is which one? Negative will be for A. So I'm doing it really messy, but so that you can see lah. So A is -5 over 2 and 0, and B will be 3, 0. Okay. Any of you did it without using formula? That means you use your factorization. Factorization, okay. What will this factorize to give us? How much? 2x plus 5. Next, -x plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, so if we do it this way, yeah, we're going to get x equals to -5 over 2 or 3. Same answers. So, I've seen some of your work. You use the calculator to arrive at this step. It is okay, provided you show me this step. If you don't show me that step, you cannot get this one. Okay, you need to show me that it is equal to 0. Once it is equal to 0, then you can, from here to here, choose to multiply by -1 to get rid of the negative sign in front of the x squared if you like. Okay, whichever way, just do it properly without relying too much on your calculator. I pointed out to some of you already, you use your calculator, you get it wrong. Okay, so next, line of symmetry of the curve. Part B, what is your line of symmetry? X equals to 0.25. Correct or not? How do we get 0.25? 3. Okay, plus -2.5 divided by 2. And what is this supposed to give us? 0.25. Okay, very good. Check. Do you have an x equals to? Because if you don't have the x equals to, even if you show me this value, I will still mark you wrong. It must have an x equals to. That is the equation of a line. If you simply give me 0.25, you don't get half a mark. You get nothing. Because 0.25 is a number. It is not a line. Can? Next. Okay, graph of the function y equals to -x squared plus 2x plus c passes through blah blah blah. Find the value of c. Okay, how do we do this? I've got information over here. Negative 0 and negative 2. This is a pair of coordinates. What this means is that when x equals to 0, y equals to negative 2. That is what it means. I can substitute all these into the equation. Then I'll be left with one unknown, which is c. So substituting them in part A, I will get negative 2 equals to negative 0 square plus 2 times 0 plus c. Therefore, c must be negative 2. Done. Part B. Hence, express blah blah blah. So negative x squared plus 2x plus c, now it becomes negative 2. Okay, I've replaced c with negative 2. In the form, this is known as the completed square form. Okay, so I want to rewrite this to become, over here, negative x plus h squared plus k. When I taught you how to complete the square, I mentioned the coefficient of x squared must be, coefficient of x squared is 0, then no more x squared already. What must the coefficient of x squared be? What must it be? 1. It must be 1 before you can complete the square. Is the coefficient of x squared 1 over here? Really? It is negative 1. Is it 1? No, it is not 1. How do I change the coefficient to become 1? Can I simply times a negative, then I get x squared minus 2x plus 2? Are they the same? No, they are not the same. Then how? What if I do this? How about this now? Minus 2. How about this? Are they still equal? Left hand side and right hand side? Yes? No? Yes or no? Yes, right? They are equal, right? And now, inside, let us just focus on the inside of the bracket. Is the coefficient of x squared 1? Just look at the inside of the bracket. Yes, right? So that is how I force the coefficient of x squared to be 1. But if you were to expand it out, of course it is not 1, it is still negative 1. That's why I can say left hand side go right hand side. But my point is, when I want to complete a square, I must ensure that what is immediately before the x square is actually a 1. Okay? So from here, I can complete a square. Inside the bracket over here, just complete a square. Copy down the first term, x squared minus 2x. Copy down the second term. Then we need to add a certain number. Divided by 2 and I squared. What is that certain number over there? How much? Negative 2. So if I add that, I need to subtract it away again. Negative 2 over 2 square. Then there's a plus 2, right? Now this is our completed square. Then we've got negative. The first 3 terms will be our completed square, which is x minus 1 square minus 1 plus 2. Correct? Am I right? Okay, then it is time to remove the square brackets. I've got now negative x minus 1 square. 2 minus 1 is 1 times a negative 1. So there I have it. It is expressed as this as the answer now. Okay? So now sketch. Did they want the value of h and k? No, they don't want. So you don't have to write h equals to what, k equals what. No need. They did not ask you to. So now sketch the graph of y in the space below. I'm going to use this one. So my equation is now y equals to negative x minus 1 square minus 1. I'm going to sketch this. Remember when I asked you to sketch, I always told you to, in green color, our x-intercept, y-intercept. Then what else? Line of symmetry, right? Line of symmetry is x equals to something. Then I have a blank point. Equals to bracket. Okay. Let us fill in the blanks. What is my x-intercept? Is there any x-intercept? Yes or no? When does the x-intercept happen? No, x-intercept is not when x equals 0. It's when y equals to 0. What happens when y equals to 0? So this will become 0. Then I bring this negative 1 over, becomes 1. So 1 equals to Okay, I can do this. So x minus 1 square is equals to negative 1. Do you think you can get an answer from this? Can x minus 1 square be negative? Cannot. So got a solution or not? No solution. No solution means doesn't cut the x-axis. Okay, so this is nil. There are no x-intercepts. What about y-intercept? When does the y-intercept happen? When x equals to 0, okay? So substitute in when x equals to 0, what do we have is the answer? X equals to 0? 1 minus 1 minus 2, yeah, negative 2. All get that? Now line of symmetry. Where is the line of symmetry? It will be x equals to? X equals to, what is the value? Your tester, please, what's the value? Line of symmetry. What is it? X equals to? Can I remember? Huh? What's the value? Hey, only some of you know it. Remember the exercise that we went through? I told you that inside this perfect square, you are supposed to be able to identify and tell me a certain number. What is the x value? 1. Why 1? Because when x equals to 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 square is 0. That's the whole point. I want this part to be equals to 0. And it happens when x is equals to 1. That is my line of symmetry. So I copy down the x coordinate over here. What kind of point is it? Minimum or maximum? How do we decide minimum or maximum point? What about the x square? Coefficient of x square, what is it? Negative. So parabola opening up or down? Parabola opening up or down? Aiyo. Hey. Okay, one way to remember easily, coefficient of x square. Positive or negative in this case? Negative. So negative is sad. When the coefficient is positive, positive is happy. Okay? I don't want to use this but if you all need it, then go ahead. Okay? So we've got a sad face. It is a maximum point. There'll be x value is 1. What is the y value then? If the x value is 1, what is the y value? Yeah, sub in. What do we get? Come on, sub in. You want to sub here or you want to sub here? The bottom one, right? Okay, so what is the answer? Negative 1. With all these, I can now sketch. Okay, I've got a point over here. That is a y-intercept. It is negative 2. I've got a maximum point which is 1, negative 1. So if this is my line of symmetry, then I must have another point over here. Symmetrical. So my graph looks like this. From here down. Okay, so this is my graph of y equals to negative x minus 1 square minus 1. 10? Do you have that? Make sure you do your corrections. Okay, question 3. Solve the inequalities. We can do it part by part. Over here, there's one of the inequality. And here we've got another inequality. Let's do the blue one first. Okay, A, why you all laugh? Negative x less than or equal to 4x plus 5 and 4x plus 5 less than 6x plus 23 over 3. So on the left hand side, very quickly I will get negative 5x less than or equal to 5. X greater than or equal to negative 1. Am I right? Okay, next. Over here, what do we do? I don't like this 3 over here. What should I do? Times what? Which one times 3? Huh? So you mean this one here times 3, is it? Then on the right hand side, also multiply by 3. Can we do that? Will the sign change? Why not? Because we are multiplying by a positive number. So no change. Okay, so we get 12x plus 15 less than 6x plus 23. So 6x is less than 8. X is less than 4 over 3. I got two answers, eh? So what's the answer? I've got two answers. Then how? Draw your number line. X. Here I've got negative 1, 4 over 3. X is supposed to be greater than or equal to negative 1. It is supposed to be less than 4 over 3. So what is the combination of these two lines, these two arrows? So in red, this is the final answer. Whatever is in blue is just my working. This in red is my final answer. Therefore, answer X greater than or equal to negative 1 but less than 4 over 3. And the way I write it will always be the smaller number on the left, larger number on the right. It follows my number line. Standard one. Okay? Wait, well, no dot diagram on this number line, yes? If they never ask you to draw number line, then you don't need to draw. If you can visualize it and you can tell me the range of x correctly, you will get a full mark. But if you cannot, like me, I cannot, I need to draw it. Then I draw it. Anyway, it doesn't take me more than 5 seconds. Right? Okay, so next, part B. Hence, write down all the integer values that satisfies this and this, they are the same. I want the integer values in this range. What are the integers? I've got negative 1. Yeah, I can include negative 1. So part B, answer for B will be negative 1, 0 and 1. 0 is an integer. Okay, question 4 and no, not the last question yet. Question 4a. Again, do this part followed by this part. So in red, I have multiplying by 2 throughout. 8x minus 2 less than or equal to 3x plus 1. Here, solve it quickly. 5x less than or equal to 3. X is less than or equal to 3 over 5. Then on the other side, I've got 3x plus 1 over 2 less than or equal to 5x plus 2 over 6. Okay, out of the 3 students that came to see me, 2 of them tried to cross multiply. Not recommended, for inequalities, not recommended to cross multiply. Because when you are doing cross multiply, this thing called cross multiply, you are actually multiplying both sides with the denominators, correct? When you multiply by the denominator, does the sign change? It depends. In this case, does it change? It doesn't, because very nicely the denominators are both positive. What if it is negative? Then you have a lot of problems, okay? So, we use the cross multiply for equations only when it is an equal sign. Because equal sign, right, you multiply, you divide by a negative number, nothing happens. So in this case, what should we do? I still want to get rid of the denominator. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. So what should we do? Sufi. We can choose to make the denominator the same. Alternatively, I can multiply both sides by 6. Yeah, multiply by 6. When I multiply by 6, do I need to flip any sign? No need. So here we have 3. This one cancel, right? So I'm left with 9x plus 3 less than or equal to 5x plus 2. So this is 4x less than or equal to negative 1. X less than or equal to negative 1 over 4. Alright? So what's the answer? I got 2 answers, eh? What's the answer? How do we decide? Draw the number line, because I cannot visualize. 1 over 4, 3 over 5. So x is supposed to be less than or equal to negative 1 over 4. At the same time, it is less than or equal to negative 3 over 5. The overlapping region is this side. Okay, so in blue is my working, in red is my final answer. Okay, therefore, I run out my final answer. Part A, x less than or equal to negative 1 over 4. Please do not look at it and say, hey, I've already got one answer over here, I've got one answer over here, and since x is supposed to be less than or equal to negative 1 over 4, I leave it lah. What? You don't write this, I don't have a final answer. You see it? Otherwise, you're splitting a question into two parts, you give me two different answers, you need to tell me what's the final answer. Even though the final answer is exactly the same as one of the previous answer. Okay, so show me your final answer over here. Hence, write down the largest rational value of x that satisfies this. Rational. What are rational numbers? Rational numbers can be written as a over b, where a and b are integers, but b not equal to 0 lah. Okay? So many numbers can be written as a over b. Fractions, a over b, 1 over 2, 3 over 8. These are all rational numbers. What are examples of irrational numbers? Can you give me examples of irrational numbers? Okay, come, example. Pi. Okay, pi square. Okay, fine. Enough with the pi. What else? Square root 2, yeah. Square root 2, square root 5. All these are irrational numbers. You cannot put them in a fraction. Hey, do you remember in primary school you learned that pi is 22 over 7? Is it correct? No, it is not correct. They cannot say pi is equal to 22 over 7. It is approximately 22 over 7. Okay? So pi is not a rational number. Okay, question 5. Last one. Sum of two numbers is greater than 29. Second number is 5 more than the first. Let the first number be x. Wow, they're very nice to you. They tell you to let something be x. Otherwise, you have to do it yourself. Okay, express second number in terms of x. So, second number equals to x plus 5. Okay, B. Form an inequality and solve it. See, they explicitly ask you to form an inequality. You have no choice, you have to do it. In the tests and examinations, they may not explicitly tell you to form an equation. But you look at it, you know it is going to be an inequality question. Then you must use inequality lah. Don't go and use your primary school maths. So, sum of them is greater than 29. X plus 5. Greater than 29. 2x greater than 24. X greater than 12. Done. This is done. Okay, solved already. Part C. Hence, run out the smallest pair of numbers. What is the smallest possible value of x then? 13, right? So it must be 13. If x is 13, then what is the other number? 18. Finish. Okay? So this brings us to the end of our revision.